Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, I'm King Nido and today we're coming from Verbank City where the Plasma are looking to poison the waterhole as it was last season when they took down the Sootopolis Aqua that started their 9-game win streak. But the Sootopolis Aqua are actually on a 2-game win streak and they are showing that they are the giant killers. So with that said, let us know in the comments below who you think is going to win this matchup. Will it be the poison types? Will it be the water types? Let's go!
3, 2, 1, go!
And although the Sootopolis Aqua are currently in 17th place, they seem to be able to take down powerful sides as they start out with Dragalge and Kingdra. It is going to be Gengar and Overqwil starting out for the Verbank Plasma, and with that Intimidate ability, those attack stats of both Dragalge and Kingdra are going to be lowered, but Dragalge is also going to be taking on that Soul Water typing as the Terrestrial draftee for the Sootopolis Aqua. And although it hasn't had a great season, it is surely due for a coming out party, but it is Gengar with that speed control, who immediately goes for the court change, which is going to fail. It is too early for any entry hazards to be set up, but Overqwil is going to follow it up with the flatter onto Kingdra, who is having a great season for the Aqua, as it has its special attack boosted, but it is going to be left in a confused state, so it may actually be doing damage to itself, so it is good for the Plasma to confuse it nice and early here, as Kingdra does try to shake it off, but it is unsuccessful, doing damage to itself very early on here. Dragalge looking to do its part though, is going to go for the confusion, which would be super effective on Gengar, but it is not effective whatsoever on Overqwil, who is immune to Psychic type moves, as the electric terrain is set up by Gengar here on the field. That current running across the field, Overqwil could capitalize here, going with the burn up instead, but it is not a part fire type, so that is going to fail. Kingdra could possibly capitalize, but it needs to shake off this confusion or it will be doing more damage to itself, and it does do more damage to itself yet again, which is great for the Plasma, as Dragalge practically out here by itself goes with the speed swap, cleverly focusing in on Gengar there, who is currently the quickest on the field, but now Dragalge is the quickest on the field, but it goes for the poison powder, which is not going to work on the poison types. They will not be poisoned, as Overqwil is going to ride that surf, doing damage to everybody on the field, but unfortunately probably did the most damage to Gengar of all the Pokemon, as Kingdra yet again does damage to itself for the 3rd straight turn, and Gengar is looking to capitalize here, going with the cross chop onto Dragalge there, as Dragalge is going to respond with the Scald, capitalizing on its new water typing, getting in great damage there onto Gengar, as Overqwil responds with the Poltergeist, and it looks like it is going to be going for Kingdra with this move here, doing that damage. A really good connection there as well, and Kingdra could be doing more damage to itself. It's not actually been able to go on the offensive yet, but it's finally shaken off that confusion, goes for the Power Gem onto Gengar and gets that elimination. But once again, as Gengar is eliminated, that Curse Body is activated, so it leaves the field laughing to itself, as Kingdra will be left to struggle, but it is Venusaur now coming out for the Verbank Plasma. Dragalge still with that speed control, goes with the Electro Whip, which is not very effective on Venusaur, but it is going to lower the speed of both Venusaur and Overqwil, also capitalizing on that electric terrain. And finally, Kingdra has snapped out of its confusion, but unfortunately no moves left. It is left to struggle thanks to that Curse Body, and now it is in knockout range, and Overqwil could go for the easy elimination, going with the spin out to level the playing field. It's not very effective, but effective enough to get the elimination, and it does lower that speed stat even more of Overqwil, as Venusaur is going to go for the Flower Trick, and you know this is going to be a critical play, and it gets the elimination, completing the huge play to take Dragalge out of this matchup and putting the Verbank Plasma in front for the first time in this matchup after those 2 consecutive eliminations there for the Verbank Plasma, as it is going to be for a Relegator coming out for the Sootopolis Aqua, and it is joined by Iron Bundle, and with that Cork Drive it is going to be capitalizing there, having its special attack boosted thanks to the electric terrain, and it goes with the Crunch, which is not very effective there on Overqwil, but if it can get the flinches, Feraligatr follows it up with the Bolt Strike, once again capitalizing on the electric terrain, and Overqwil is able to hang on by a thread, as Venusaur is going to go with the Head Smash in response onto Feraligatr. Gets a really good connection there as well, even with that recoil damage onto Venusaur, and Overqwil is going to be going with the Lunar Dance. This is a really interesting play. It knew it didn't have much health left, so it's going to take itself out of this matchup, leveling the playing field, but if the Verbank Plasma need to capitalize on this, and they can, that would be very impressive, as that electricity does disappear from the field. That Cork Drive is going to wear off for Iron Bundle, and it is Brute Bonnet coming out for the Verbank Plasma. another part grass type, but it is the Terrestrial Draftee taking on that poison type, and it has truly embraced its toxic side this season for the Virbank Plasma. However, Iron Bundle still maintains that speed control, this time going for the bite onto Venusaur. Gets a really good connection as well, and Feraligatr follows it up with the Toxic, but once again, this is not going to work on the Virbank Plasma, which allows Brute Bonnet to try and capitalize, but going with the Guillotine, but that is going to be avoided by Feraligatr. And Venusaur has flinched. That is great for the Pseudopolis Aqua, as Iron Bundle is going to go with the Acupressure, trying to help out Feraligatr here by boosting that physical defense a great deal. And Feraligatr follows it up with the Shadow Claw onto Brute Bonnet. Gets a good connection there, but Brute Bonnet does respond with the Skitter Smack, smacking Iron Bundle about there on the field, lowering its special attack in the process. And Venusaur does follow it up with the Attract here, putting the moves onto Feraligatr, who is going to fall in love here with Venusaur on the field. It needs to keep its head in the game as Iron Bundle goes for the Aurora Veil, but it is not snowing over the field, so that is going to fail. Here is Feraligatr. Is it going to be distracted by Venusaur? Smooth moves. No, it is not. Feraligatr is going to go for the Lash Out, but it does focus in on to Brute Bonnet instead, who once again does respond with the Charm as well, going with that Charm onto Iron Bundle, greatly lowering its physical attack there, and Venusaur follows it up with the Poison Gas. It wasn't successful for the Pseudopolis Aqua, but the Virbank Plasma have been able to leave that poison status condition on both Feraligatr and Iron Bundle, so they will be taking that passive damage that will be chipping away at their health, which means they are on a ticking clock, are these two, which means they need to act quicker and go on the offensive. They do have that full speed control at the moment, as Iron Bundle is going to go with the Leaf Blade, which is going to be resisted there greatly by Venusaur. And once again, Feraligatr needs to shake off its love for Venusaur and go on the offensive as it goes with the Parting Shot. It couldn't take it anymore. It's going to go back to the bench, but it does lower that attack and special attack of Venusaur. In the process, Feraligatr going back to the bench, and out in its place it is Dondozo coming out for the Aqua. Brute Bonnet immediately meets it with the Flail, getting that critical hit, but you wouldn't actually think so, as Venusaur follows it up with the Acid, trying to get the poisoning onto Dondozo as well, but it is unsuccessful as that poisoning does chip away at Iron Bundle there. Iron Bundle does go for the Dream Eater, but no one's asleep on the side of the Plasma, so that is not going to work, which allows Brute Bonnet to go for the knockoff and knock Iron Bundle out of this matchup, putting the Virbank Plasma back in front. A good capitalization there by Brute Bonnet, knocking off the Leper Berry in the process, as well as Venusaur is going to go for the extra sensory follow-up onto Dondozo, who tanks yet another move, and it does respond with that Infestation there onto Venusaur, which doesn't do much at first, but as it continues to afflict it with that Infestation and that chilling, horrible noise, it is going to be doing more damage. As back out onto the field comes Feraligatr, and immediately it's going to go with the Fling. It doesn't want its Leper Berry either. It's going to fling its Leper Berry at Brute Bonnet, which gets that critical hit, but Brute Bonnet tanks that move. It practically catches that Leper Berry as it proceeds to chow down and eat it here on the field, and it responds with another Skitter Smack, this time smacking Dondozo about, but not as successful, but it does lower that special attack in the process, as Venusaur follows it up with the minimized boost in its evasiveness, but it doesn't want to be on the receiving end of a slam here. And Dondozo does follow it up with the Sparkling Aria, which is going to be avoided by Venusaur. However, it's not very effective, thankfully, on its teammate Feraligatr. Bonnet also taking some damage in the process as that poison in there, doing more damage to Feraligatr. That Infestation putting Venusaur into knockout range. Feraligatr could capitalize. It is going to fly up high into the sky. It will be super effective if it comes down onto Venusaur, but first Brute Bonnet goes for the Shadow Punch, but it does go for a Feraligatr, who is able to avoid that attack. They need to focus on Dondozo, as Venusaur is going to go with the Acupressure here. It is going to boost its own special defense a great deal, as Dondozo does go with the Aqua Ring. It is going to surround itself with this Veil of Water, ensuring that it will be restoring its health in between turns. But on the other end of that, it is that poisoning that will put Feraligatr into knockout range, and Venusaur needs to hold on from this Infestation. It is still in this matchup, but that Fly is going to be avoided by Venusaur with that boosted evasiveness, allowing Brute Bonnet to go with the Mud Shot, almost getting the elimination of Feraligatr there. It does have its speed low, but surely it'll be taken out at the end of this turn. The Poison Jab from Venusaur. Very little damage once again being done to Dondozo, but it's finally left it with that poisoning. This is the third Pokemon for the Pseudopolis Aqua to be left with that poison status condition, as the Tail Glow in response by Dondozo. It does boost its special attack a great deal. And there's that Aqua Ring continuing to restore the health. But the poisoning on Feraligatr is finally going to take it out of this matchup. There are only 2 Pokemon remaining now for the Pseudopolis Aqua. And there is that poison that was just afflicting Feraligatr, doing damage to Dondozo as well. And there is Venusaur being taken out of this matchup thanks to that infestation, which actually is great for the Pseudopolis Aqua because now there's only 3 Pokemon remaining for the Plasma, as it is Cantoni and Muck coming out for the Plasma. Now it's Blastoise coming out for the Aqua, and Blastoise immediately with the speed swap. It had the speed control, but it's just given it to Brute Bonnet, and Brute Bonnet looking to capitalize, goes with the Kowtow Cleave on to Dondozo, putting it in knockout range. Muck follows it up with the double hit. It connects with the first one, and the second one is going to take Dondozo out of this matchup. Fantastic 1-2 play between Brute Bonnet and Muck, but now all of a sudden Blastoise is left by itself, and it has 3 poison types to contend with, and Brute Bonnet with that speed control immediately goes for the super effective Absorb on the Blastoise, which is going to restore a little bit of its own health in the process. Very intelligent play there by Brute Bonnet, who has been such a hard target to take down, but Blastoise is going to go for that wish, surely wishing to win this matchup and get some help somehow, with the power trip from Muck chipping away there at Blastoise. But with the poison touch, now Blastoise is left with that poison status condition. The Burbank Plasma capitalizing on their toxicity here over the Pseudopolis Aqua. Now we get the bite from Brute Bonnet. Fantastic connection there on the Blastoise, who does respond with the high jump kick, and it gets that reward, landed with that not very effective move onto Muck, who does respond with the power split, focusing solely on Blastoise here, sharing its power between the two. And there is that health being restored thanks to that wish for Blastoise, but there is that poisoning still chipping away. That wish was a great play in retrospect though by Blastoise, but Brute Bonnet is going to go for the gunk shot, capitalizing on its new poison type and capitalizing on the Blastoise's poison, and puts it into knockout range as Blastoise goes for the Ember. Very little damage being done to Brute Bonnet, but it's the Grass Pledge from Muck. Super effective, gets the elimination of Blastoise, and the Burbank Plasma have run away with it, truly poisoning the watering hole, poisoning 4 of the water types here in this matchup. And with this victory, they've actually moved themselves into an Elite 4 position, but next round they will be going up against the Ulu Macros, who are only 1 position above them on the leaderboard, whereas for the Aqua next round they will be going up against the Vilestone Breakers, who are on top of the leaderboard at the moment. So with that said, Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.